Yeah. We got a lot of stuff we want to talk about today, man. Today's a very special episode. We're going to tell y'all how to be superhuman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've been fucking around being regular human. This podcast episode is going to turn you into a goddamn superhero or villain, right? Depending on your disposition. Let's start the show. Yeah. You know what it is? Another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, King Keto, the king of ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, Jesus de Gimnasio para mi gente, and I am joined by the best producer in the game.
Let's go.
The homie Nima, straight out of Iran.
Super excited.
Come on, man. You learn how to be a superhuman today. We got a special guest. I'm going to introduce him yet. Just hold on. We got a special guest. He's going to teach us how to be superhuman. All right. We also got man in the super chats. We got Minovia. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be answering all your super chats, any questions you have, and she's going to be kicking out the fucking haters. Are you coming here talking crazy? You're going to be banished, exiled indefinitely. Forever. All right. So we got a lot we want to cover in this episode. So I'm gonna hop right into the sponsors real quick. Get that out the way so we can get to the meat pause of the episode. So the first sponsor is the newsletter, Nima. Big Money Methods. This is the newsletter that accompanies the Victory Talk podcast, right? And these are articles written by me and the homies Scene. His parents should have spelled it with a W if you wanted me to call him Sean. That's Scene. All right, Scene. And he's writing. He's one of our top copywriters. One of my top salespeople is the homie Chris. And we're all, and then obviously, Gymnasium Jesus. We're all in here writing articles to help you get big money. So go ahead, click that link in the description. You put your email in here, and twice a week you're going to get articles on methods to help you make big money. It's fantastic. It's amazing. It's free. All right. Is a product that me and Nima have been working on behind the scenes quietly. We kept it quiet. We didn't tell too many people about it, but it's a product that's near dear in my heart because, listen, guys, some of you guys don't know this. You're out here. How do I get girls? Oh, so the girls. But the real G's is like, how do I get rid? How do I stay away from all these fucking hoes? There's too many bitches, right? And that's why we put together Thought Repellent. Thought Repellent is the easy to apply spray that keeps the hoes away. Now you spray this. Let's say you're going outside, and you a baller or a shot caller, right? And you're going outside, and you're like, "Fuck, man, I got to deal with all these thoughts, man. They're gonna be throwing themselves at me, trying to have my black babies." And it's like, I don't need that. I got shit to do, right? So you spray some of this on yourself before you leave the household, right? And for 8 to 12 hours, it will repel all thoughts, right? It was been genetically engineered by Iranian scientists, right? That's why Nemo was
the good ones,
the good, right?
Friendly
Iranian
ones,
scientists, the friendly ones, not the ones who's doing all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the good Iranian scientists. They're out there. Iranian scientists get a bad rap. I'm gonna be honest with you, but there's a few bad apples fucking it up for the whole community. But anyway, the good ones, they've been working on stuff like this that help mankind, right? So it's been genetically engineered by them to only repel the DNA of thoughts, hoes, sluts, skanks, skeezers, freaks, hood rats, Jezebels, scallywags, and Puerto Ricans. I'm just joking. I can make that joke because I might be Puerto Rican. We don't know my race. My dad was an orphan. Anyway, I digress. Good women, they won't be affected at all. They'll just be like, man, what is that wonderful aroma? And you're like, stop refilling, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's why you were able to get close to me, to be adjacent to me. If you was a thought, you'd have convulsions right now. You know? All right. So this is a real product. They think we're joking, but it's gonna drop around Valentine's Day, just in time for Valentine's Day. Right? Because the lonely thoughts gonna be out here trying to snag anyone, right? You got to be safe. All right. But the thing is, we're crowdfunding this. So if you guys want it out by February, you got to do more super chats. All your super chats go toward development of thyroid pellet. Because right now I only got the only prototype. You know what I'm saying? And we want to make sure we have enough for everyone, right? And we want to make sure we have like travel sizes. This would be like a weapon of mass destruction on an airplane. And it was made by people in the Middle East. So, you know, you don't want that. You got to get a small one, you know what I'm saying? 3 ounces under. All right. So we want to make sure this happens. So you got to do super chats, right? All right. Hey, and I think there's already one here. Before we do our guests, we want to acknowledge the first hero to give us a super chat real quick. No, you know, my fact, we're going to get into this. We're not going to answer super chat right now. I got to introduce the guest, the first guest. All right. So met this guy on my boy Eric's yacht, right? Eric's is a straight up baller, right? He got a yacht, private planes. He's fucking super balling. I met this dude, right? And he's the peptide king. I'm like, oh, I'm King Keto. You peptide king, man. We need to bring our kingdoms together. You know what I'm saying? Get on a podcast. You know what I'm saying? If you have a daughter, man, she got to marry my son. That's how we do it in royalty, right? Anyway, he said that he was telling me about peptides, and I didn't really know a lot about peptides, but we started talking and we were explaining more about how peptides can actually change the game for you and help you become like superhuman, like a metahuman, like better than regular. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I wanted to bring on the homie, the peptide king, Dr. Russ. What's up, homie? What's going on, guys? Now you own a peptide company.
Correct.
Yeah. How long you been in this peptide game, man?
Since 2018, I've been into peptides.
And you also have a wellness clinic.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. Vital Force anti-aging.
All right.
That one's in Alabama, as you hear the accent, guys. Yeah. A little thick. Southern boy by, nature.
Listen, man.
Living in Miami, hey, the women love it. So that's all that matters.
Hey, this the South too, man. Yep. Listen, I would have hearing your voice, man. I thought you were going to try to sell me like a wagon or a tractor or something. You know what I'm
now, I'm not that redneck. Come on, Brandon.
I thought this guy, I thought for sure he drove an F-150, man. He pulled up in a purple Lambo. I was like, okay, it's different. You know what I'm saying? But tell us more about, like, before we get into your backstory and everything, tell us about peptides. You know what I'm saying? What are they and how can they make me a better version of me?
So the beautiful thing about peptides really is just they're a series of amino acids, almost like a chain linking everything together. So let's say, for instance, when you work out, most people know what branch chain amino acids are. They're the building blocks of protein. Most people take their amino acids every day before they go to the gym to help them break down protein to turn that into muscle. Well, peptides are they're different, but they are synthetically derived, but they're naturally already in the body. And what they do is they're called secretogs. So peptides boost or upregulate what's already, in a sense, functioning in your body. So obviously you've got oral peptides, you've got injectable peptides, but they're not, say, steroids or anything like that. So the big difference there, for the people out there that don't know too much about it, like steroids have what we call a negative feedback loop. When I mean steroids, I mean like, testosterone. So say if I'm taking testosterone, I start taking it, well, my body is going to send signals and say, hey, we're getting plenty of testosterone from an outside source exogenously. So your brain will signal your, testicles to stop making your natural testosterone. So then obviously if you quit taking it, boom, you're shut down. They call that hypogonadism, in the male TRT world. So that's obviously a bad thing. Then obviously your libido is going to have issues. You're going to gain weight, things like that. Well, peptides, the awesome thing about them is you can take peptides, and again, they're going to boost you from your natural level of good up to what we call superhuman.
Come on now.
And the cool thing is, if you stop taking them, you don't crash out like testosterone and go to zero. You'll just slowly come back down to kind of what your natural level would be. But again, most people that take them, you're still going to keep all of the muscle that you gain, the fat that you lost, whatever peptide you're taking, you're going to continue to see those benefits for a pretty good while. Obviously, as long as your lifestyle.
These are legal, right?
Correct. So like, obviously they're not FDA approved.
Okay.
And obviously now, we got the new president coming in. They're going to kick back everything that, the previous ones did to kind of, in a sense, shut that down, because everybody in the healthcare industry, they want you to just use insurance and want you drug after drug, treat symptom after symptom. Next thing you know, you're on 10 medications. Well, this stuff's obviously a lot more natural. So they actually help benefit people, get them better. So, they don't really like that in what we call the big pharma world, because, it's not insurance based. So they're not getting their kickbacks. You know what I mean?
Got it.
I mean, I think, let's say just for instance, most people out there, like cancer. I mean, it's like a $100 billion business a year.
Yeah,
like you said,
business.
They've been coming out with a cancer cure forever. You know what I mean? There's been like 3 or 4. Obviously, those guys kind of disappear, fall off the map. You never really hear about it. Well, that's because if they come up with a true cure, and they have it, they're just not letting people take it, because if they do, they've lost all that money.
My boy, Dr. Dominic D'Agostino, he works at Florida State. I believe it's Florida State, and he cancer research,
right?
And there's studies that published. He put people on keto who had mice who had,
and it kills the cancer cells.
Because so it's like, but
there's a bunch of guys out there that have different research doing, whether it's keto or like a full just vegetarian style diet with just fruits and vegetables. That same thing. Kills cancer cells, because obviously it grows more based off of your processed sugars and glycogen. So
it needs glucose.
It needs glucose. So if you starve it out, you're going to kill the cancer cells. So again, that's the most simple thing in the world. But it's like,
so the Matrix don't want us to know about these peptides.
Exactly.
All right. So this peptides is, correct me if I'm wrong. There's peptides that can help you get bigger muscles, help you lose fat, right? But there's also peptides that help you heal injuries, help mental clarity, more like what are some of the stuff that?
So you've got subsets. Yeah, there's all types of different peptides. So again, like I said, they're kind of the chain of amino acids.
Yeah.
Which just like when you're a kid putting Legos together, you can make all kind of shit. So it's you can put all these different peptides together. They've researched a lot of them for different benefits. So yes, for instance, we'll just get right into it. So the most popular one out there, I think, in the world, we sell the most of it, is our BPC 157.
Yeah.
And then TB 500. Those are 2 different ones, but in combination, they really, it's the Wolverine peptide. Like I said, you're pretty much, Wolverine can't die. You can stab him, you can cut him, other than just probably chopping his head off. He can't die. You know what I mean? So it's like, they call it the Wolverine peptide because it's incredible. I mean, it heals up injuries. So let's say you went to the gym tomorrow and you tore your meniscus in your knee. Well, we could start doing BPC TB injections in the knee. More than likely 4 to 6 weeks later, that injury is going to be healed up. Rotator cuff tears.
And how long would that take without, like, not if you just like?
So a lot of the time they would need surgery. You couldn't even avoid surgeries. Yeah, a lot of guys with meniscus need to have microscopic surgery. My dad's an orthopedic surgeon. They'd go in and obviously like scope it, debride it, which means kind of clean the area up, get the debris that tore off out of there so it doesn't catch. You would need at least something like that, and a lot of time you can do BPC TB 500 together for a certain amount of time,
and they get healed faster.
Exactly. I mean, I tore my my quad about 2 years ago on the side. I mean, black and blue down to the back of the knee. Again, dad's already a big surgeon. We went get an MRI. Hey, it's a stage 2 tear. Doesn't need surgery, but I mean, if this is a natural muscle together, it's torn almost all the way kind of the edges, not fully apart, but like right hanging on the edge.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, 3 to 6 months to be 100%. I mean, I was back in the gym doing 135 squats in 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks. And I was injecting, again, the peptides every day.
So let me ask a question. So I used to do a lot of like calisthenic stuff, like bar stars, and like a lot of that stuff. And I muscle ups.
Oh, it kills the elbows and wrists and joints.
And then I got kind of heavy. Like I put on a lot of muscle, and I was showing off. I was doing the human flag where you grab a pole and hold yourself sideways, and I did that like this, and my fucking bicep
just tweaked it.
Bro, I went to the emergency room.
Yeah, I thought you tore it or something.
I didn't tear it, but it's never been right since then. So you're telling me if I take this stuff, it'll heal up?
Yeah, exactly. So if you've still got some residual issue, damage, scar tissue, it can kind of help. Number one, the biggest thing with that would be getting rid of the pain if you're still just having daily pain when you train. It's discomfort vague. More so. Yeah.
I had stem cells, not stem cells. It was the other thing. It's like stem cells, but it's not.
PRP.
I don't know what that stands
for. Like protein-rich plasma. It's
similar. It was something, but they couldn't get the actual stem cells, so it was something else, and they put that in there. And it was better, but it's not healed.
It's probably the protein-rich plasma. It's kind of a step below the stem cells. But yeah, it works pretty well. But yeah, exactly. I mean, the BPC TB combo.
That'll heal that right up.
I mean, the biggest benefits from it is going to be, if you have cortisol damage or adrenal insufficiency, which means your adrenal glands control some of your blood sugar, sleep regulation, how tired you feel. I mean, it heals that up. Gut damage, again, inflammation, swelling, pain, obviously,
so it's like
tendon damage.
Like a panacea.
It's just, everything. Yeah, it's just all, again, Wolverine peptide. It's going to just heal you up. What I mean? That's the biggest thing that it's known for. It has a ton of benefits, but I mean,
what side effects is that?
Realistically, in my opinion, none. I mean, really? Overall, generally, peptides, just like if you took a supplement too much, I mean, end of the day, potentially over a really long time, you could have a little bit of issue with your kidneys. But again, if you're healthy, you're drinking water, you're eating proper, things like that, you're not really going to have any negative side effects. The biggest negative side effect from some of the peptides would be just when you do your injection, you might get kind of flushed feeling with something like the CJC 1295 ipamorelin mix. You'll kind of just almost feel like you took niacin. You'll get kind of a little tingly feeling, almost like you take pre-workout. I'm sure you get that niacin flush. I like that. You get that feeling for 4 or 5 minutes. That's how you know you took it. You're like, oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. Exactly. So kind of leading into that one, the CJC ipamorelin is an awesome one.
I want to take some notes while we listen. All right. So we got the
BPC 157. TB 500. That's a combo blend. It's 2 different ones, but again, synergistically, they're amazing together. So we always put those
BPC
together.
Plus 157 and what?
TB 500.
TB 500. And that's the Wolverine.
Correct. That's Wolverine. Then
we got like you want to get healed. Like what other stuff could someone take peptides?
The CJC 1295.
Who comes up with these names? The R2D2.
Yeah. Like you said, if you start calling out the chemical names, they're so long, and that you're just like, what? Most people, layman's terms, aren't going to know. You know what I mean? Like RNA, ribonucleic acid, blah blah. Everybody's like, what? So yeah, they're just short.
CG say what?
CJC 1295.
CJC
1295.
And what does this do?
And that one again, there's a DAC version and a no DAC. So ours is a no DAC. It means it's. Basically, it changes the half-life. If people know what half-life is, it's how long it's in your body, or i.e. your bloodstream, before it gets out. So like,
but what's the purpose? I don't want.
So the purpose of the
CJC,
purpose of the CJC 1295 ipamorelin mix is going to be, to me, that's the end all be all peptide. If you're a starter, you want to start with a peptide, that's the one for growth hormone. So it's a growth hormone secretog. So it's going to increase growth hormone levels, which is going to help with deeper REM sleep, better recovery, obviously better workouts. Same thing. It's going to reduce some inflammation. Huge thing is going to be hair, skin, and nail health. Massive amounts of collagen produced. So it's going to obviously reverse the aging to an extent. So,
it's anti-aging.
Exactly. So CJC ipamorelin, in my opinion, it's kind of the end all be all. If you're starting, boom, that's the first
women
one.
Taking this?
Women. Yeah, it's safe for men and women. Incredible for them. Again, same thing. No.
So people. So I would imagine there's some people taking that one just for like beauty stuff.
Exactly. We have one specifically formulated. I told you about earlier. We'll get into. It's like the end all be all for anti-aging. But yes, a lot of people take the CJC ipamorelin for just, the women love it for the anti-aging and fat loss, obviously.
So how long would it take you to start noticing the effects?
Now again, I can't speak for everyone's product because of obviously quality, potency, purity, things like that. Yeah, ours. I mean, this fitness influencer pro bikini woman the other day, she purchased a bottle. She'd taken peptides in the past. She was using literally like, the CBD, the THC Delta 9 stuff, and like just all kinds of supplements to sleep. Just to go to sleep at night. She took the CJC 1295 in the morning. I said, look, the first night, don't take any of those other supplements you were taking. Just do the peptide, because again, it helps you get into REM sleep, deep sleep, all that. She took it. I still got the text. We could obviously pop it up later, but I know we're live. I mean, she was like, Dr. Russ, that was the best sleep I've had in like 9 years. Incredible. Really? I woke up. I feel amazing. So again, it's, you're going to notice results from these peptides almost immediately with a lot of them.
Wow.
That's what I love about them. I mean, you just, like I said, you inject the CJC, you're going to get that flush feeling, it's working. And then obviously you take that one before bed. As when we recommend taking. Really? Yeah, you could do. I mean, you can do them first thing in the morning. You could do it pre-workout or before bed. Depends on kind of the program that wherever you're getting it from, whichever doctor's prescribing it, et cetera. How you tailor your program, it's going to be a little different for everybody. But yeah, I mean, at night it's incredible for sleep.
Really, and it's better than something like what's it? If it's not THC, it's the other thing.
Most people to sleep, I feel like nowadays are doing Delta 9 gummies, or they're doing the CBD to sleep. Yeah, those two. Incredible. Works way better than that. And two, you don't really get any negative side effects. For me, I've tried CBD, Delta 9, all that. I don't like the body experience I get, or just the grogginess the next day, things like that.
I remember, man, I fucked my back up, and then I was at some fitness expo, and I met these people who had like a CBD company, and they said, all right, take these. They gave me some drops.
Yeah.
They gave me the thing to rub
cream,
on.
Yeah, the topical.
And, the next day I felt perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like,
and they do. Yeah.
It can work, but you're saying this works better than that, and it has more benefits.
Exactly. In my opinion, it does. And like I said, it depends on what you're really therapeutically wanting to use it for. Obviously, CBD locally on an injury site, or like you said, taking it to sleep's good, but you're getting, a plethora of benefits from, the peptides. Like I said, it's not just one thing. Like I said, you're getting sleep. You're getting
collagen. So like, how long did it take people start looking older? I'm getting old, man. I want to ride out this influencer shit as long as possible, man. Will this slow down my aging even more?
Oh, big time. Yeah. And like I said, we can actually reverse it. I know a lot of people,
Oh shit! Really?
We'll go over that one in a minute. Yeah, there's literally peptides that will reverse your aging, and it's testable to show it, which is what's cool.
And there's no side effects for this shit.
No side effects. Again, I don't want to guarantee that. Everyone's a little different. Like you said, obviously, if you've got cancer, if you have a kidney disorder, something like that, I'm not saying that you wouldn't potentially have problems with it. But if you're a healthy individual, there's next to no side effects, no worse than taking a bunch of oral supplements or something else over the counter, Advil every day that's damaging your liver. It's definitely no worse than things like that. Because again, most people get scared of it because they're like, oh, it's peptide.
And you got to inject it.
There's not enough research, and you're injecting.
Inject all of these, right?
Exactly. It's a subcutaneous injection with a little bitty insulin needle, just like if you had diabetes and you're injecting your insulin. So again, it's like a mosquito bite. You don't feel it. But people sometimes get kind of thrown off by that. And they're like, well, it's injectable. There's no way it can be safe. And I'm like, okay, but and some people are just scared of needles, what I mean? So there is obviously oral versions of certain peptides too. So that's an option for the goers that don't like needles.
Okay, give me some more peptides and some more shit. So we got the CJC for growth hormone.
Yep. Our tesamorelin is one of our other top sellers. Obviously, really good product. So
what is that?
It's similar to the CJC ipamorelin, but the tesamorelin, again, another growth hormone secretog, but it specifically targets the adipose tissue or the fat cells in the abdominal area. Really? So again, when you inject that one, it's going to burn fat specifically around the abdominal truncal area.
Whoa. I've always heard as a trainer my whole life that you can't burn fat in one spot.
Not naturally. But again, when you take the peptides,
it's some different. I told you this is about like Superhuman, man. If you guys are here for some motherfucking Whole Foods, Trader Joe's shit, you know what I'm saying? You wearing deodorant without aluminum in it. This shit ain't for you, right? This is what we trying to max out over here. Yeah. All right, so tell me more about this shit.
So the tesamorelin it's crazy. It's one of our top sellers. But it targets the fat cells in the abdominal area. And the thing I like about it for like bodybuilders or big guys like me or you, we love to walk around having that pump feeling, filled out. Because again, you're keto, you don't eat carbs, so for you, it's a little harder, in my opinion, I think, to get pumps in the gym because you don't have as much of that glycogen storage. Yeah. But you want to get that in the gym. You want to look pumped up all the time, veins showing. So the tesamorelin is incredible for that. The pumps are out of this world. People who take pre-workouts and all these, citrulline, L-citrulline and arginine, they're trying to get their pumps in the gym because obviously the more blood flow to the muscle tissue, the more it grows, the more nutrients it gets. So the tesamorelin is like the king at that for pumps. It's incredible. You inject fat loss and pumps. So again, it's huge for muscle building. To me, it's like one of those, it's 50-50. It's like 50% fat loss, 50% muscle building.
Oh, it helps you build muscle too. Okay.
Incredible. Yeah. All these growth hormone peptides are going to help you put on lean muscle mass, burn body fat, but just like I said, certain ones are, obviously synthesized to do certain things. So the tesamorelin is hugely for the abdominal body fat.
I'm assuming you cannot take this shit if you are in the NCAA or pro athlete.
Yeah. So, obviously a lot of, most everything's on the ban list. I got a buddy of mine that we treat, you can't say his name. He's on the, he's a pro golfer. Yeah. And he comes to us to get treated and like, dude, he can almost do nothing with us other than some supplements. Cause it's like, he couldn't do let's say his testosterone's low. He can't even do Clomid and like Ganadorelin or HCG. I mean, all those are on the ban list. Even if it's prescribed by your doctor, he can't do them.
Yo.
You know what I mean? Nothing. It's like, bro, what if his testosterone's 200? He's basically turned into a girl. And y'all are telling him he can't play golf if it just brings him up to an acceptable normal level. Nope. They'll disqualify you. So yeah.
I seen
everything's on the ban list, bro. In the NBA, the NFL, you name it, they don't want anything.
Some of these YouTubers I see them say that all athletes are on gear or other shit.
Yeah,
but like these motherfuckers never trained. I've trained pro athletes, and you've worked with a pro. Like these, if I would tell them to get supplements from like the vitamin shop, they would have to fucking send the ingredients to somebody and make sure everything. They're super scared about that shit.
Oh yeah, because you got to think that's their livelihood, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone came to me and said, "Hey, all your clinics are just shut down tomorrow," it's like the board. I'm like, shit, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the same concept to them. It's like if they take one wrong supplement and they happen to get tested in the next couple of weeks, wherever it might be, dude, their career for the year, maybe 2 years is over. They're put on probation. I mean, yeah, so they're going to be, they're not putting anything in their body other than raw food, man. I know I wouldn't if I was a pro athlete.
They're scared to take pre-workout.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Straight up. Like, you know, when people say that all athletes are on something, I'm like, man, dude, you don't know athletes. Maybe back in the day, but like not now. You know
because I mean, I'm 38 years old, man. When I was, let's say 25, I mean, they had pre-workouts that had pro hormones and SARMs and shit in them. We didn't even know it. You know, you're taking that shit. You're like, dude, I'm getting huge all at the same time. You're like, wait a minute.
You remember Jack 3D?
Yeah. I mean, listen, that stuff had Adderall in it. You take that stuff, you're cracked out for 3 days. I'm counting the
Those are the good old days.
I'm counting the wrinkle on my steering wheel while I'm driving. Like, 1,010. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Y'all missed that.
Amphetamines galore.
I'm older than you, right? And I'm 42. When I first started working out, there were no like pre-workouts out, so we would take like fat burners.
Yeah, it was the ECA stack, bro. So you're a little older than me, but it was ephedra, caffeine, and your asprin. And so we took those two. Bro. We ate those bad boys like candy because there was nothing else out there.
Ephedra still on the ban. It's on the ban list.
Oh yeah, it's on the ban list. 100%.
You can still get ephedra if you go to the pharmacy and say you want some Broncaid. All right, you know, it's that shit. I take it recreationally,
and it's labeled differently. It's not ephedrine; it's like pseudoephedrine. Or, you know, again, that's the kind of thing with the peptides. It's like, well, they just combine all these different esters, and you do some chemistry, and you can change the name of it, but it's the same compound. And when you digest it or you inject it, whatever, that portion of it breaks off, and it becomes the original pure product. That's how these companies get away with certain things. But then obviously FDA, everybody catches on and boom, they pull it off the shelves again. That's the name of the game in the supplement world. And you know, that's what happens.
I took ephedra while you were on the elevator for fun. just so the podcast would be a little more lit for me. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what else we got?
I can tell it's kicking in now, Brandon.
It's starting to hit my bloodstream. Yep. I like it. I enjoy it.
Let's see. So let's jump into the big one I was talking about. It's our tri-blend is what I call it. I mean, it's the ultimate. It's the ultimate anti-aging. So it's a tri-blend, which just means it's 3 different products combined in one. So it's our GHKCU, which GHKCU, it's a copper peptide. So it's pretty cool. All the other peptides are like white powder in the bottle, which they're lipolyzed, which means they're in a powder form. This one's blue, and it's a copper peptide. So it's really cool. So a lot of people pair that BPC-TB with the copper peptide because, again, hugely.
What does it do?
So the copper peptide, again, like let's say, you know, you're a pretty light-skinned black guy, but let's say, you know, a lot of black women, especially, we see they've kind of got the patches or, you know, blemishes. And, you know, they obviously, just like every other race, they want nice, you know, beautiful, silky smooth.
They were the even out the complexion.
Complexion's nice. Yeah. So the GHKCU gets rid of skin blemishes.
Really?
It kills free radicals that, you know, so realistically it can fight cancer cells because it's killing free radicals. Incredible.
Acne and shit too?
Yeah, it helps with all that skin related. Incredible.
Skin shit.
Yeah, so just put skin down if you want to keep it
skin shit. Okay.
There you go. And then the epithalon is the second epithalon. That's the second compound in it. So epithalon is what I was telling you about earlier. It is the ultimate. So epithalon literally lengthens your telomeres. If people don't know what telomeres are out there, basically it's kind of, you can do a test for about $400 out there that gets your telomere length that tells you how long you're going to live, like your actual lifespan. It's like, hey, if it's this long, you're going to be 80 years old when you die. They can estimate this shit. It's pretty crazy. It's almost like DNA testing and stuff. So the epithalon lengthens your telomere, so it increases your lifespan.
You get close to the mic. I'm sorry.
So the telomere test, obviously when you take the epithalon, it can increase your entire lifespan, and you can test that. So it's like you could take one now.
So it's like a longevity.
Exactly. Longevity. Yep. Anti-aging longevity. So let's say right now, Brandon, we went and did your telomere test. Let's just say for all the people out there, it was your telomere test. Your telomeres were 3 inches long, and we took the epithalon for 1 year. And then we went back, and now it's 6 inches long, 2 or 3 inches longer. Like shit. Okay, now you're gonna die at 65. Now it's telling you 85. So you can actually check that, which is cool. And then obviously the third one is the MOTS-C. MOTS-C. So MOTS-C is pretty cool. It's unique. So it suppresses appetite slightly. Not as much as like the stuff everybody's seeing out there right now, the Ozempic and semaglutide.
It's not like that.
But
Ozempic's not a peptide; it's a drug, right?
It actually is. Yeah, Ozempic actually is a GLP-1. It is considered a peptide.
Oh, really? Oh, so Ozempic.
Yeah, so like the tirzepatide or tirzepatide, people will call it different things. The semaglutide, which is just Ozempic, is the different names for the companies. They're technically peptides still. Okay. Yeah, they're GLP-1s. With GIPs, again, getting into these names that people don't really understand. But yeah, it's a weight loss drug. It suppresses the appetite. That's really one of the main reasons how it works. But the MOTS-C is almost like a micro version of that. So it suppresses the appetite a little bit. The cool thing is when you take it, it actually increases your insulin sensitivity. So that is where it really more helps with weight loss. It's going to help with longevity and stuff too, because when you increase insulin sensitivity, you're increasing your metabolics, which people don't really know what your metabolics are. It's kind of like your basal metabolic rate. When you're sitting there, it's how much fat you're burning, things like that. So it has a lot to do with, your metabolism and things of that nature. And your blood sugar, people don't realize your blood sugar is directly related with your adrenal gland. Your adrenal gland's what makes you feel awake in the morning. All these guys get up and they're drinking 6 cups of coffee for breakfast because they got adrenal fatigue. Oh, so it's directly related. So
I'm one of those guys.
So it's all kind of combined together. So yeah, it's literally just the ultimate, anti-aging combo. So we sell a lot of that to the women.
Really? For anti-aging and for weight loss.
Exactly. Not directly for weight loss, but it does help with it. But yeah, we put those 3 together because it's kind of just the end all be all for that anti-aging section. And then you pair it with like the BPC and then maybe the CJC we're talking about. And it's like, you're just going crazy with youth. It's Fountain of Youth putting those together.
That's crazy.
Because a lot of people just used to do real growth hormone. Everybody said, hey, growth hormone's a fountain of youth, and it is. But the problem with the real growth hormone, when you inject it, like I said, you stop taking it, it has that negative feedback loop like testosterone, and your pituitary gland, which is in your brain, that's what releases your growth hormone, it'll shut that down. The peptides stimulate it and just turn it on more. That's what a secretagogue is. It secretes more. It turns it up. Kind of like when you go to the gas station. We can put 87 in your car. It'll run good. But if you put 93 in it, you're going to get better gas mileage. You're going to have a little more horsepower. It's kind of the situation there with the peptides. It's like, boom, it just amplifies and boosts everything.
Is there anything to help with like mental clarity and or intelligence? Can you make me smarter with a
Semax? SEMAX. It's fire, bro.
AMEX.
SEMAX.
Yeah.
Semax. So
what is that?
That peptide, they have a bunch of studies on it. Yep. It's for cognitive ability. It can help fight like Alzheimer's, dementia, things like that. Pretty awesome stuff. Even Parkinson's a little with things of that nature. Again, they're still doing a lot of studies on these peptides. There's ongoing research every day. But yeah, the Semax, again, I'd never taken it. I took it. It's like taking Adderall.
Oh, so you did take it?
Yeah, I've taken almost every peptide. Test them.
You said it's like Adderall?
Yeah, the Semax. I had to take half dose. Now, the negative side effect on that one, I would say, the only thing I noticed is I get a little bit of a headache with it. But I think it's because it's so strong. It's like
making your brain better.
Yeah, it's like mental clarity, cognitive abilities, definitely super focused. Like I was saying, taking ephedrine, and caffeine. Jack, we're counting the wrinkles on our steering wheels. We're so locked in. It's that like feeling, and it's a peptide. But obviously much healthier for you.
Are there people taking it for like just work, like stockbrokers or fucking traders? And shit like
exactly.
That,
you can take it almost like you said, more therapeutically. You may not necessarily need it because you're not old like me. You just want to function more efficiently and have
the top of my game.
Exactly. Yeah. You wake up in the morning, boom, take your Semax all day long. You're locked in. You know what I mean?
Really?
You're making money, coming up with new ideas. It'll make you more creative.
That's the one I'm most interested in.
Yeah. The Semax is pretty awesome shit, bro. It's fire. You just got to be careful with it because it is really strong.
How long it lasts?
Like I just took half a dose. I was doing the full dose. It was too strong.
Too much.
Because I'm really sensitive though too.
Yeah.
I don't do caffeine and things like that. So,
so
so you probably be fine with the full dose.
I take like 1,000 milligrams of caffeine every day for fun.
I could take 200-300. I'll be jumping out of the building right now.
Oh, those rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up, man.
Yeah.
All right. I want to get into some more peptides, especially the muscle building ones and fat loss ones. But first, we're gonna take a quick break.
Yeah,
because we got my boy Greg coming in. I forgot to tell you that we do this. Well, my boy Greg coming in, young candlestick to talk about the what's happening in the markets, man, with the market recap.
Cool.
You fuck with stocks and shit?
A little bit.
All right, man. But listen, you about to get a crash course. Let's get it. Yo, Greg, what up? What up? Yo, those of y'all don't know, homie Greg. Greg's helping me a lot of money, man. Every time I'm making a big trade or something, I hit Greg up. I was like, yo, what you think? He analyzed it. He's a certified market technician. He's got fucking certification shit. He's lit. He's the man. All right. Yo, Greg, what's popping with the market, homie?
I was just thinking I'll have to take some of that Samax. That sounds really cool.
Yo, man, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. It'll boost your trades up real quick.
You know what I'm saying? Smacks that all on the floor. Smacks that. Give me some more. Smacks that.
Hey, he'll be seeing he'll be seeing the trades before they even come up on the chart.
Limited. Let's go, man. We about to smacks that. Let's get it.
Seeing the future before it even happens.
Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that Limitless. Yeah, the Samax is gonna be like the Limitless movie.
It's like that Limitless.
Yeah,
listen,
bro.
Listen, man. I'm about to smack. I'm about to smack that ass. Balls. Let's go. All right. Let's get into the.
Yeah, I'll make it quick since we have a special guest. But basically, S&P 500 basically flat today. It is down 1.3% year to date. So if you're up on the year, you're actually outperforming the S&P 500. So we're obviously up on the year, so we're doing good.
Come on, man. You know what it is.
Key levels to look out for. I'm just going to make this quick. SPY is bullish above $590 per share, and it's bearish underneath $580 per share. Tomorrow we have CPI, which is the inflation report. So the market's basically going to be having an earnings report. It's going to be up a lot or it's going to be down a lot by the time you wake up tomorrow.
What time is that tomorrow?
It's usually 1 hour before market opens. So that would be 8:30 a.m. Eastern.
That's going to be crazy.
I know.
So those of y'all don't know, like, if you want to learn more about trading and investing, join our free Discord, Victory Unit. Links in the description. And I got free courses in there. I got a course on there on a fat loss course where you can like work out with me. It's like insanity, but like heterosexual, and it's dope. And I got another one. I got another money mindset course called Baller Mindset. But also, Greg and I are in there giving out free trade ideas, helping y'all answering y'all stock market questions. But if you want to trade live with us every morning, we got something called Victory Trades. You can get Greg's swing trades directly to your phone, and you can trade with Greg and I every morning at the market open. Fuck with us, and it's a lot of fun and it's lit. But anyway, it's gonna be crazy tomorrow. Oh, if you want to join Victory Trades, just go into Discord, hit up Greg, Young Candlestick, say, yo, man, I want to fuck with Victory Trades.
And then once you join, just link your Discord ID to WAP. Okay, that's all you have to do.
Yeah, we all good. All right, cool. Let's get it.
We talked about what happened in the markets already, but how can we forecast what might happen in the future? We can actually take a look at different markets to get a hint of what might happen next. So what we have here is the SMH ETF. These are our semiconductors. Think NVIDIA, AVGO, AMD, Micron, Intel, all of those stocks. And SMH is a leading indicator. So whatever SMH is doing, it tends to lead the market what's going to happen next. So if you see the SMH dropping, that's a hint that we might see more selling. If you see the SMH holding up strong, it shows that the market might be strong. We did just kind of do like a false breakout where we had these lower highs. We popped it, and then we came back into the range. If the SMH loses the 200-day moving average, that would be pretty bearish for stocks, and we could see a further correction. If the SMH holds the 200-day moving average, that would be neutral or bullish for stocks moving forward. We've been talking about how you can capitalize on SMH by wheeling SOXL. And if you don't know what that is, you basically just get weekly cash flow for buying 100 shares or agreeing to buy 100 shares.
Basically selling cover calls, selling cash secure puts. And then if you get assigned, selling cover calls.
You make a ton of money on the wheel strategy if the stock goes sideways slightly higher, or if it just goes straight up. You might be underwater a little bit if the stock goes sideways to slightly lower, and you'll lose money if the stock drops, but you would lose money anyways if you just bought stock anyways.
And that's why it's like it's if you're gonna wheel or sell covered cash secure puts, you want to do it on a security that you wouldn't mind owning like long. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. And you want to take a look at some relative strength names. So on the bottom of my screen, I have an indicator called relative strength. This isn't an RSI. This is how strong is this stock compared to the SPY. And if you're looking for stocks to buy, stocks to own, take a look at the relative strength indicator. If it's uptrending, basically going from bottom left to top right, those are strong stocks to look for buy setups in its uptrend. Okay, so AVGO, strong stock in an uptrend. We took a nice win on this today. VFC, look at this. The relative strength is making higher highs. That's telling us, hey, this is confirming the uptrend. Long trades are safer than short trades. So if you see the relative strength compared to the SPY downtrending, that's a good stock for short setups. Okay.
Got it.
Last time I talked a lot about oil and how that's inflationary when oil rises. At the beginning of the year, I talked about my favorite ETF for 2025, and that was XLE. XLE is crushing it year to date. XLE is up, almost 8% year to date.
So XLE is a ETF that tracks the energy sector.
Yeah, think of stocks like Energy Transfer, ET.
Come on,
that's a bullish setup right there.
Yeah, you already
I've been
know.
wheeling NFE stock, New Fortress Energy. I've got a price target of $20 per share on the stock, so I am wheeling this. I like it. The relative strength is still a bit weak, but it is starting to recover. So it's more of like a value / dividend play. And then another hint so if you see the energy sector potentially sell off from the 200-day moving average, that would actually probably put some relief on the markets. At least that's what I'm seeing based off asset correlations and asset rotations. So if XLE sells off, look for the market to potentially hold. Look at bonds too. Bonds have still been dropping. This is TLT, our 20-year treasury bond ETF. Basically, when bonds are selling off this hard, big stocks like Apple have a lot of bonds on their balance sheet. And so Apple takes in those losses along with TLT, and Apple's a big weight in the overall market. And so that can bring the market down. If you see bonds start to rally, that would be good for Apple.
They buy bonds when they have a bunch of cash on hand so they can make money off the cash that they're holding.
Exactly. Because when you buy a bond, if you just go into your broker and type in TLT and buy it, you're lending your money to the United States government.
Yeah.
And they'll say, hey, here you go. Here's some interest payments monthly. Thank you for loaning us your money.
Yeah. So sometimes like people with like a lot of bread and they want to keep on the sidelines, they'll buy bonds in order to, it's like they want to keep it semi-liquid, and they just want to save and make a little bit more money off it than you would if you just kept it in the fucking bank.
Yeah, think of bonds as like a CD with maybe like a higher interest rate. You're basically just buying a CD. So super simple. You can just sit on that cash. And if you hold the bond to maturity, whatever length of time the bond is, you'll always get your guaranteed cash back plus the interest rate. So it's technically a risk-free,
because you're loaning it to the government. It's like, but
they're going to back it.
They're going to back it, man. They're going to back it with all the missiles.
What percent is that? By the way, on the bonds, does it depend?
What percent with the interest rate?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's usually based off the Fed funds rate, so it'll depend on the particular bond. So like junk bonds, corporate bonds, they have higher yields because they're a little bit riskier. But government bonds, usually it's a little bit less. I want to say about 4 to 5%, give or take. So,
so similar to like a money marketing,
or like a high,
account.
like if you get a really good high interest savings, sometimes, but. It's like it's just a place to store your cash.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. Yeah, better than a CD because, like I said, the government's backing if it's a bond. That makes sense. Because you always anything government related, you're. Oh man, you're gonna be all right. You don't want to trust them, but as far as money goes, at least you got your money with them. You feel safe.
They got missiles, man. Everything's backed by missiles. You know what I'm saying?
what's also cool about buying bonds is you can sell it at any time. Usually CDs, they have like a withdrawal penalty or something like that. So
right. Okay.
Yeah, that's something to consider too. But the bond value could actually sell it for a loss if interest rates are going higher because they're inversely related.
Got it.
One last asset class to look at to potentially forecast what might happen with the market is Bitcoin. Bitcoin's
that's what I was about to ask about too. I've been seeing some crazy shit on Bitcoin. Yeah.
I know. Bitcoin is nuts. It's a risk on asset. So if you see Bitcoin holding up and hanging out near its all-time highs, that tells us, hey, investors aren't all that worried about risk. So it's generally good for the stock market. Bitcoin can be a leading indicator too. So if Bitcoin starts to break underneath like 90,000, that would tell us we might see some selling in the market. If we see Bitcoin break and hold above 100,000, 103,000, that would be bullish for stocks and equities.
That's what I was curious about because I saw it went up to like 104. We're obviously back down to around 90 or something I saw last. But it was like, was there a big sell-off? What happened there? That was what I was curious about.
I think there's people like, it shot up super fast. And typically when things shoot up fast,
taking their profits out.
Yeah, like a lot of people taking profits. Like people are just waiting for
they're selling off some of it. Not all of it, but they're probably selling off some to get some profits out. Go ahead and pull that so they don't lose.
I know people 5 years ago who were saying, man, we're just waiting for 100K, right? And
100%, bro. If I got in at 60 and it went up to 104, I guarantee you I'm selling at least probably 50%. I might keep the rest in there for it to go back down, come back up. But yeah, it makes sense.
Imagine if you were holding from like fucking 5, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
To get to 100, it's like, well, how much fucking profit you need?
Exactly.
Bro?
It's like, bro, all right, let me take that and then put that in a high yield, 12 to 20% interest rate, somewhere a couple of mil, and you can live off the interest. You're good to go. You don't even need to, dabble in the Bitcoin and risk it. You put in something safe. Yeah, you've won already. Yeah.
All right.
The people that are buying Bitcoin at 5 and are still holding, they're just the ride or diers. They'll never.
They're doing it for another reason, man.
100%.
They're doing it for something else.
So that's basically it. Take a look at Bitcoin, see how it's holding. Obviously, last time we talked about how natural gas is a good stock to wheel or ETF in this case. That's been yielding some really good returns in 2025. And lastly, TSM reports earnings on Thursday. I am holding half of my bullish position on TSM. I'm willing to accept the risk, though, if earnings has a bad reaction.
Look at you.
A quick note. But it could have a good reaction, too. So
look at you, Greg, going for it. All right.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's a small trade.
All right. Cool. Listen, guys, if you want to learn more about this, join our free Discord, right? You can get the free courses that I put in there. And you can also learn more about trading and investing from Greg and I, especially Greg, he's in there. And if you want to trade with us, get Greg's live swing trades to your phone, every day. And if you want to trade with us every morning, right? We at the market open, join Victory Trades. So when you get in Discord, hit up Greg, say you want to join Victory Trades. All right. Yeah. And he'll put you in the right direction.
I won't be on the podcast on Thursday because I'll actually be in Tampa, Florida for a CMT investor conference. So I'll be getting a lot of good game to share with you guys.
Yeah, get that. Get that.
Victory Trades members, my key takeaways.
Come on, man. Let's get it. All right. Appreciate it, Greg.
Take care. Right. Peace.
Peptides we got going. And I think there's some peptide super chats too.
Yeah, there's probably some questions by now, I would think. Yeah, I mean,
we have Hamez. Can peptides help in bed? Asking for a brother.
That's the perfect one. Yeah. I literally pulled my phone up and I was like, what peptides have we not talked about?
Yeah.
So that was the next one on the list.
All right. So what is it?
So PT141.
PT141. What is it?
It's a long ass name. I'm not gonna pronounce it for everybody out there. But yeah, so that's gonna be your libido peptide, your sex drive peptide. Yeah. So it's basically, in layman's terms, this is equivalent to your Viagra and Cialis.
Really?
But it's injectable. So again, the cool thing, like let's say for instance, Cialis.
Okay, wait, real quick. Because Cialis is different, right? Cialis, because I think I've been taking Cialis every day for like over 10 years. But I take it for muscle growth,
right?
Because I've read studies because it's a vasodilator.
100%.
And if you're not aroused,
exactly,
it doesn't really increase libido.
Oh, there's a bunch of misnomers out there about all that. So let's just run through that quick. We'll answer her question too. So yeah, like Viagra and Cialis. Obviously, Viagra, shorter half-life, hits you much quicker. If you take Viagra within 30 minutes to an hour, you're ready to rock and roll. Obviously, in the bedroom. Same thing too. If you're in the gym though, If I'm like ready, if I haven't been taking my Cialis regularly, I forget and I'm ready to go hit the gym. Like shit, I'm working out 20 minutes. I'm going to pop 25, 50 milligrams of Viagra. I'm going to get a crazy pump in the gym, massive vasodilation. Yeah. Obviously, the good thing too there, it's beautiful. It's a health supplement too. It helps with your blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, you're dilating your blood vessels, you're lowering your pressure. So it's good for that too. So that's why I take it. I'm a big dude. I don't have blood pressure issues anymore. But again, it's got multiple uses.
There's studies that show it helps build muscle.
And it does. It builds muscle because, like I said, you're dilating the blood vessels. So therefore, your food, your protein, all your nutrients, micronutrients, macros you took before the gym, obviously, if you're dilating, you're getting all that directly to the tissue. So it will help with recovery and growth.
Jeff Nippert has a video. It's like 10 years old about how it helps build muscle. And you went through all the studies, but I learned this from the NFL guys because that was like the closest thing to it. The NFL guys used to train the closest thing to a PED they would take.
And they can take that. That one's not on the ban list. I'm pretty sure.
And they were taking it for a strategic advantage. But it does. But to your point, you said that this.
So the PT-141
helps with libido.
It's very similar. So it's a vasodilator.
Oh, so okay.
In my opinion, it works better. So. For instance, in females, let's talk about because it's safe for male and females. But in females, what the PT-141 is going to do is similar to Cialis and Viagra. It's going to basically, create more sensitivity on the clitoris. Obviously, it's going to swell the clitoris, just like obviously if you're a man, you're going to get more girth, you're going to have more length, so you're going to get a lot more blood flow.
Motherfucker gonna be looking like a thumb.
So yeah, but like you said, for the females, that's what they're going to experience if they take it, because they're obviously not taking it for muscle building, things like that. Men, So in my opinion, I've done both. The Cialis I like because it doesn't give you the headaches. Like you said, you obviously can take it once about every 3-4 days, whatever your dose is, your doctor's prescribed for you based on your tolerance levels. With the PT-141, it is injectable. The beautiful thing I love about that, let's say for me, I can inject it once or twice a week.
Oh, wow.
And I'm ready to rock and roll anytime. And in my opinion, honestly, for me anyways, it's stronger than Cialis and Viagra combined. I mean, it's pretty incredible stuff. The only negative drawback to it is that you get a little bit of nausea on the injection on that one. So if you take PT-141, or we can talk about this one later, Melanotan, which is very similar. I usually just do that one right before I go to sleep so that you're going to sleep, you're not experiencing any of the kind of nausea. So it's only lasts about 10-15 minutes. Kind of you get that.
The nausea only lands.
Exactly. It's quick, but it's just right after the injection.
All right.
All
right. Listen, and guys, here's the thing, man. If you don't have erectile dysfunction and you take Cialis or presumably PT-141, it's a performance enhancement, right? Like if you don't have a problem and you take it, kind of like if you take Adderall and you don't need it,
don't buy a penis pump. Let's just put it that way. Just take PT-141. Don't do all that extra work.
It's a different experience, bro.
There you go. It's a different experience. If you don't need it, but you still take it, it's out of the world.
It's a different experience, man. You know what I'm saying? Like for sure. All right.
Next one, right? So next the Melanotan. So the cool thing is what they did, how they came up with the PT-141. It's just a cleaved portion of the Melanotan. So they splice again, how you can build them. They spliced out the section of the Melanotan that creates the erectile issue. So you take Melanotan, it's to tan your skin. You guys see how kind of tan I am. I'm almost your color. Obviously I'm white. I'm Cherokee Indian and German.
Right.
I hadn't been in the sun in,
really
2
it makes
months.
You darker.
So you can actually inject it. It creates more melanocytes, which melanocytes are what tans the skin. So, I mean, if I want to be black, like you King Keto, if I take that shit every day, probably in 2-3 months, I mean, I've been people are like, bro, are you like Cuban? What are you?
Really?
Are you from Pakistan? They don't even know because you can get so dark. It's crazy because it'll just continue making melanocytes.
Are people taking that for cosmetic reasons? I would imagine like bodybuilders, that'd be something they'd be
they take cosmetics so you don't have to tan, obviously. Obviously, too, if you want to get a 2-in-1 package, it works the same as the PT-141. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool peptide. And 2, the biggest thing I take it for is obviously we're aging. We don't want to age. I mean, we live in Miami, bro. There's no way we avoid the sun. It protects you from sun damage on your skin. So the more melanocytes you make, the more protected your skin is from skin cancer, just sun damage to your face. So you're going to look more youthful, even though you're tan. Obviously, you can stop taking it, and I'll obviously go back to my natural color. But you protected your skin a lot more.
Wow.
So that's where it comes in to be anti-aging there too with the peptides. So you get multiple benefits from almost all the peptides, which is what's cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into another super chat.
We have Nav. Does oral BPC work?
Oh, so that was the Wolverine one, right?
Exactly. So the oral BPC is really good. In my personal opinion, it does work. I've taken it. I think that oral versus the injectable, they just have a little bit of a different therapeutic treatment response. The oral BPC is definitely more for gut damage.
Okay.
If you have autoimmune like I do, again, or you have gut damage, you just have issues with digestion, you've got leaky gut, what they call, obviously just damage to the gut from whatever it might be. The BPC will help heal that up. It helps with damage to your adrenal glands, which again is like cortisol levels that helps you feel alert and awake. So it's really good at kind of healing those issues up. In my opinion, the oral BPC, you have to take too much of it at too high of a dose for it to be cost efficient to really get as much on the tendon healing and things like that. It'll help with wounds and like skin cuts. But in my opinion, if you're looking for, like I said, where I tore my quad and you want like healing there, you're going to want to do the injectable.
Because then you can do it like locally instead of just,
more locally. So it's just not as anything orally, let's say a supplement. When you take a supplement, let's say you take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C.
Yeah.
You're going to lose 30 to 50% when it goes through the gut and gets broken down. So like if you're taking BPC orally, let's say it's 500 milligrams, you're only going to really absorb, let's just call it 250 of that, keep it simple, half. You know what I mean? Whereas when you do an injection
it's all in you.
or IV, something like that, you're going to absorb much, much higher rate and more efficiency.
That makes sense. All right. Well, let's say a lot of guys want to build muscle. What's the best peptide for building muscle?
In my opinion, just like if you were in the anabolic world, you want to do a stack. Okay. We do stacks even in our clinic all the time. People come in, they say the same thing. Hey man, I'm pretty healthy. I feel good. I just want to put on 10 pounds. We go, okay, we're going to put you on the IGF-1.
With IGF-1?
So we haven't gone over that one yet.
Okay. What is that?
Insulin-like growth factor.
IGF-1.
So it's basically a growth hormone secretagogue. In layman's terms, it'll almost be like taking growth hormone and insulin together. Okay. They can be really synergistic. So it's what IGF-1 really does is what's called hyperplasia. And I'll break that down for everybody out there. Hyperplasia means, like, let's say, Brandon, you got 100 muscle fibers in your bicep. You're curling with 100 of them. Well, you can inject the IGF. It will cut those 100 fibers into 200. Obviously, they'll now be half the size because you take one big fiber, cut it in half. Now you've got two. Yeah. That's what hyperplasia is. It's growth. It's like replication, though. So you got replication of a cell and then growth of a cell. Oh. Like hypertrophy is like where you obviously enlarge, grow a cell. So the IGF will create hyperplasia, split the cells. Then obviously you train, eat. Now you get hypertrophy and you grow the cell. So you grow the 200 back into the size of the 100 and boom. So IGF is incredible for that. So you get the growth hormone benefits, you get the insulin benefits because it shuttles all the nutrients directly to the muscles. So you get the hypertrophy and the hyperplasia. In layman's terms, that's kind of what it does. So it's incredible. I mean, and the badass thing about it, cuts body fat like a motherfucker.
Cuts body fat.
It will shred you up while you're putting that muscle on. It's pretty cool. So my favorite stack is like IGF-1 with the tesamorelin. Okay. And then like the CJC ipamorelin. Those three, like you put those together, I mean, yeah, you're definitely Superman, bro. You're Superman in the gym without having to take a bunch of crazy anabolic steroids that are really just messing up your hormones, shortening your lifespan, things like that. Just causing all kinds of bad side effects.
And to be clear, this is safer than steroids.
Correct. In my personal opinion, yeah, this is much safer. Obviously, there's still ongoing research on the peptides. Yeah. There's certain things that 100% I can say probably we don't know about them yet, but as far as they've done research on, the thing is they're secretagogues. They're just enhancing what's already there, unlike, taking anabolic steroids. People don't know about that. It's like all anabolic steroids are, no matter what they are, whether it's testosterone, let's say in the bodybuilding world, that's your base. That's what you use. And then, like, let's say you want to get cut. Well, most people would take like Primobolan or Masteron or something like that. Well, those are just derivatives of testosterone. Oh. They take the testosterone molecule, you add a bunch of different bonds to it. If you had chemistry or biochemistry when you were in high school, and they create it into another component that does other therapeutic things. Right. So that's all that is. But again, they all have much more side effects.
More side effects.
Yeah.
These are almost like designer type. These are pretty new. How long has steroids been? I mean, not steroids, but how long
peptides? I mean, I couldn't give you an exact answer. Don't quote me 100%, but dude, realistically, I think one of the first peptides, I mean, they've been around since the 80s. You know what I mean? But just obviously for different uses, just like anabolic steroids. I mean, like Masteron, well, they developed that, certain things for like breast cancer treatment and things of that nature, or, some of the oral steroids they created, they're for muscle wasting diseases. You know what I mean? Like testosterone. Well, really, that's amazing for patients with HIV and AIDS. You know what I mean? It stops the muscle wasting because it puts on muscle and builds muscle tissue. Well, issue with HIV AIDS is muscle wasting. So a lot of these things that are now used for bodybuilding or enhancements, things like that, were obviously at one point created for something more medical.
Are these safer than SARMs? Because I know the SARMs were a big deal. Like maybe
100% there. I can answer that with certainty because a lot of the SARMs, a lot of studies they have out, it's issues with your liver, your kidney. I mean, like a lot of the SARMs are raising your liver enzymes up because they're oral, like I said. So a lot of them are passing through twice to get broken down. Like let's say a SARM, RAD 140. That's one we know of. It competes with like your testosterone receptor. So if you're already taking testosterone, you take RAD 140, you'll get some good benefit. It'd be like stacking steroids, but I mean, you're having negative effects on your liver. Obviously that affects your organs, your kidneys, things like that. Just all those different SARMs, most of them definitely have more side effects in my personal opinion. Again, I don't want to speak fully medical just because we're on a podcast, back and forth. I don't want somebody going out there going, oh, well, he was incorrect on that one thing he said. It's like, we're just talking more in layman's terms. We're not getting super duper scientific today, but
okay. What about fat loss? I know you said, what did you say? The
tesamorelin's really good for fat loss. The IGF-1 obviously, creates hyperplasia, but it's really good for fat loss too. A lot of patients that have more of a restrictive diet, and they're doing cardio, you can lose some body fat from it.
Okay. So those are the ones. All right. What other peptides are there? What else?
Those are the big ones. There's hundreds of them. You got, dude. I mean, I got a list right here. I'd say LL37 is one we haven't really talked about. It's a little different than the other ones. It's more for like yeast, candida, gut issues. Okay. A lot of people were eating. I mean, like for instance, we go over to Italy, man, Spain or somewhere, and we're eating pizza and dairy and flour, and we don't have any gut issues, but here it's like everything is so processed. You have that problem. You get an overgrowth of yeast. That's what creates bloating, indigestion, things like that. So the LL37 can help kill off yeast. It's like most people don't realize you stick your tongue out. If you got white or green on it, you got yeast. Pretty much everybody's carrying around some sort of yeast because their bacteria in their gut's not really the healthiest. So the LL37 is really good for gut bacteria, gut health. It kills yeast, candida. So that's a really cool one.
How much of this stuff can you stack together safely?
I mean, I've been on up to 9 or 10 peptides at once.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of results is you getting?
I mean,
you got bigger
results. I mean, obviously look at me. I mean, I'm healthy as far as that goes. Tons of muscle. I stay pretty lean. I don't hardly do any cardio.
Oh, really?
I eat one free meal every single day.
Yeah,
for
really.
the most part. Yeah. Yep. I mean, again, I have a high metabolism for sure, but I'm not that active as far as cardio goes. So most people that don't do cardio and eat like I eat, they're just bloated fat whales, bro. You know what I mean? Because you're keto, you don't do any carbs. Yeah. If you do a shit ton of cardio, you're obviously lean. Yeah. But it's like probably if you followed my diet, bro, you'd be 280 pounds.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? But again, too, it's all about what you've been doing most of your life, what you've adjusted to, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, your body's used to keto. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been doing. I'm 8 years straight. Oh, is there anything that will help you stop from getting sick? Now, I haven't been sick in 8 years. So I haven't had a cold in 8 years.
I'm actually testing one out now. I'm on it now.
Testing it.
I mean, it's been out for a while, but just again to add to our clinic, things like that. I always test things out myself. Want to see what the results are. So thymosin alpha 1, and again, I can't tell you every single thing about it. They can go research it, but the big thing it does is it's amazing for patients who have autoimmune conditions. Again, gut problems like I do. It's huge for, it basically, in layman's term, what it does, it boosts your immune system. It's going to keep you from getting sick, because I get sick a lot because of the autoimmune. I get flare-ups. I mean, since taking that, and if I stack that with the BBC, I mean, I don't get sick.
Really?
I feel good all the time. So far, I'm loving this shit. I mean, it's going to be something that's going to be added into my kind of normal routine, because I've suffered with it my whole life. I mean, ever since I was 6 years old, I remember, my mom would have to come pick me up from middle school in the hallway, curled up in a ball, stomach hurting,
It's autoimmune.
Yeah, just
that's just a pain in the ass. My boy Wade got that, and he has issues with that. How many injections do you take a day?
Let's see. Peptide wise, I do, I mix them together, obviously, so it's more simple. So I do my shots when I wake up before I do my morning cardio, if I'm doing cardio, which is usually only 2-3 times a week.
Okay.
Before the gym, and then usually before bed. So three times.
How many shots? Are you mixing them all up?
Yeah. So three injections. One in the morning, one before the gym, and one before bed. So normally, like in the morning, I'll wake up, I'll take. Right now, I'm kind of doing almost like what we call health days. So I got pretty lean for that show, didn't have time to do it, but so I was doing 4 or 5 different peptides at once as far as the fat burning ones. Like I was on the tesamorelin, I was on the CJC 1295 ipamorelin, I was on the IGF, all those. So right now I'm just doing in the morning, I'm doing my ipamorelin, samorelin, and then obviously like your growth hormone at lunch, and then like another ipamorelin, samorelin dose before bed. And that's it right now on that one. Wow. And then I'm in the mornings, obviously I'm mixing my BPC, TB, the thymosin alpha 1, more the ones for like the immune and just overall health, but not really like the performance enhancing ones for muscle building fat loss. Just that one right now, actually. I'm going to do about 8 weeks of that, and then I'll probably hop back on.
So you cycle them?
Yeah, and you don't have to. It's just certain ones, like the IGF and the tesamorelin, those are really the only 2 you truly need to cycle. And we recommend, 12 to 16 weeks, and then just switch off to another one.
Okay.
So like the CJC, ipamorelin, and some of those, what I call the standard growth hormone secretagogues, you can stay on those year round. It's just the ones that have specific purposes, like the fat burning of the stomach, things like that. The IGF, because they affect your insulin and your blood sugar levels and things like that, you only, 12 weeks, 4 weeks off, hop back on. No big deal. Okay. So you can do that with those. Yeah.
All right, man. So basically the side effects are little to none, but you can't take them if you're in any like drug tested sport or even job. Are they jobs?
Jobs you should be fine.
Because they're really just testing for like
they're testing for like amphetamines and cocaine and weed and that kind of stuff. Yeah, they're not doing some expensive test for your hormones and stuff.
But if you are a pro athlete,
you'd want to stay away
collegiate athlete, you want to stay
like probably D1 and up. I'd say you probably want to make sure with your talk to your agent or whoever and be like, hey, is this safe?
Especially now because they can get paid.
Exactly. So even the D1 guys, I think they're
getting paid.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
shit, like I said, they say they don't pay you in college ball, bro. Those guys are getting paid. Maybe not in direct money.
No, they are now. It's changed.
Are they getting paid? Okay, you get paid now. Let's say before it was just like, hey, they were buying them cars and gifts. You know what I mean? Now they get
they get money
because I'm from Alabama, dude. Alabama's obviously huge football.
No, I know.
Football country. I'm not really a football guy, but shit's crazy.
They're getting paid now, man. Like so, this motherfuckers who are staying longer.
Oh yeah, just failing class, keep going, to get paid.
Instead of like leaving to go to the league early,
the NFL,
they're staying a little longer. This guy's doing that shit.
Like, well, I'm the top dog here, so I get paid more. If I go to the NFL, I'm gonna be the bottom dog for a while, and I may not get as much money until I get land a huge contract.
College football, there's so much money in college football.
It's crazy, bro. Alabama, it's
especially down south.
Insane. I mean, like I said, dude, the whole world stops during football season where I'm from. I mean, it's nuts. Tailgates. I've never seen anything like it. So I went to Auburn to school, actually.
Oh, really?
For about a year, yep. And then came back and finished up in Birmingham.
Okay.
But, closer. You want to be close to the mic.
Something, man.
Got a little far away.
What it was. All right. Let's answer some more super chat.
I thought a wasp was stinging him over there. He had a bug on him.
All right. I thought I was about to run.
Yeah.
Let's answer some more super chats.
We have Nav again. Have BBC at home, but scared to take it because I read about side effects like hot flashes and anhedonia. Brought it a year ago. Want to take it for my gut.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, every drug, pharmaceutical, even nutraceutical supplement. Online, legally, they have to post, even if it's a very minor side effect, that if they did a study, one person had the side effect, they're going to post that because legally that's how they have to. FDA, everything, it's just regulations,
I used to work for Abbott Laboratories.
Yeah, so the game. I mean, it's just like anything. And they can't put, there's no side effects. That's why I say it's just really minimal. I've never noticed any. And
everybody's going to be different, like this.
Exactly.
For example, and some people die if they eat a peanut. Right?
100%.
I can't if I get like an IV with like just like
you probably start sweating.
Man, my throat starts to close if it's too fast. They have to do it like half speed. Because if it's like normal speed, it feels like my throat. It feels like somebody's doing the Jedi choke on me. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't breathe. It's fucking. So everybody's different.
But to answer her questions as far as that goes. So again, if it's injectable, because we can't see here,
then you shouldn't have it.
Well, the products for us, you have a kind of shelf life of 2 years.
Okay,
you know what I mean. So you want to make sure, number one, if she's had it at home for a year, that number one, it's not expired. It's still good. It's still in a powder form. It's been mixed up already or something.
Refrigerator.
BUD date. Once you mix one of our peptides, you got 60 days to take it. After that, you're going to lose potency, and realistically, you're going to need to get a new vial. So if she hadn't done that, obviously it's still safe. She can take it. If it's oral, they should be fine as long as they've been kept in the prescription bottle that's usually orange. It keeps the UV rays out. It hadn't been in like the hot sun. You'd be fine. I mean, as far as the side effects, she's saying hot flashing like that. We treat hundreds of patients, male and female. Obviously, the female will be having the hot flash. We haven't ever had an instance in our office of anybody with hot flashes for BPC.
Okay. That doesn't mean it won't happen.
Exactly. That mean it can't, but
fuck around and find out.
Yeah. I think honestly, BPC is really one of the safest peptides out there to take.
Yeah.
And again, it's just like anything else. You're never going to know unless you try it at least once.
Never know until you try.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, in my personal opinion, you should take it. You're going to love it. And, you'll never stop taking it once you take it, for the inflammation, the pain reduction. I mean, the sleep, just you name it. You're going to feel good overall. So, but like I said, if it's expired, obviously get you a new bottle. Don't take anything that's expired. That's like drinking soured milk.
Real quick, you said it was one that reverses aging. Did we get into that?
So that was the, obviously all of them help reverse aging, but the big Tribalin I was telling you about, that's kind of the big anti-aging one. Everything that we do that makes us healthier, obviously, in my opinion, is kind of stopping or reverse aging. But the Epithalon specifically can reverse the aging process, kind of like stem cells, because you're lengthening those telomeres. So if the telomere test says, hey, we've taken your lifespan from 65 to 85, obviously we change your lifespan. That's anti-aging.
Is that dude Brian Johnson doing peptides? I don't know if you've been following him. I don't know if he's doing any peptides. I know he's doing all types of wacky shit. Johnson, he's the dude on the internet is it
Liver King? Is that you're talking
about?
That guy's crazy.
It's this dude who
Brian Johnson. Okay, he's spending like millions of dollars doing these crazy protocols. No? Okay, maybe it's a different guy.
No. You do what you're talking about. No, Nima Putabug, guitarist. A blues.
There's one guy taking like 57 supplements in the morning, all these crazy routines. Yeah, that dude.
Is he taking peptides?
He's taking a plethora of shit. I mean, everything under the sun. I watched one of his quick videos. It's like he's got this concoction like 57 pills. But in my opinion, from the people that I know, and I can't say who they are, even scientists, said that what he's doing is not even working as well as some of the stuff that at our clinic and the clinics that they have to offer. Because it's just, I mean, you can only do so much, but I think some of that stuff.
It says yes, he is taking peptides.
Okay. So I'm sure he's doing them. He's probably doing everything. He's probably doing stem cells. He's doing peptides. He's doing PRP. He's doing the most insane diet ever. Sleep patterns are like counted down to the millisecond. I'm sure it's probably insane, but it's like that's not really any way to live. You know what I mean? Bro. If that helps me live 2 more years, like, well, bro, the whole time you did that, your quality of life sucks.
Put it back up. What you just said. Yeah. Are you familiar with these peptides?
Let's see. There's the Epithalon. Yep.
So he's got taking the Epithalon.
Yep. And then collagen peptides, which again, all of the growth hormone secretome peptides create massive amounts of collagen, which is what makes your skin tighten, gets rid of wrinkles. The one I talked about, the copper.
Yeah. So he's been on.
Yeah, he's on some of them. Correct.
Yeah, he's on some, and that's just what fucking Google AI.
Because he's taking the cerebral lysine, which is a peptide for cognitive health. Probably similar to the Semax, basically.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to fuck with. That Semax. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and he's taking that's all ashwagandha. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff we've talked about, he's actually on. So
shit. So Brian Johnson's fucking with this shit. All right, cool. Let's answer another super chat.
Yeah, I guess he's going viral, right?
Yeah, he's super viral. Okay. He got a Netflix documentary out now.
He picked up video games and it's really
she about to read it.
Oh, okay.
We have Cold Brew. I picked up video games again and it's ruining my life. All the great things that I was doing before, reading, writing, etc., out the window. I'm having a hard time giving video games up. I feel like my life is slipping away.
Here's the thing, man. The reason is because they're addictive, because they're fun, right? And they spark like massive amount of dopamine. But the thing about dopamine, and if you watch my video on it, so people say it's a dopamine spike. It's not so accurate. It's like you have
it's a dump.
It's a dump. It's a dopamine dump.
It's a dump.
Yeah. So go ahead. You explain it the way, because you sound like you want to articulate it. So go ahead.
No, I mean we can't. But yeah. I mean. And that's anything, whether it's video games. I mean, it could be sex. It doesn't matter what you're addicted
alcohol,
to.
Anything.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody has their vices. But yeah, I mean, your body can only produce so much dopamine at a time, just like anything else. Gas, you only have so much gas in the tank reserve. Yeah. So yeah, when you chasing that hit, the video games, in my opinion, what video games do is, for me, it's kind of like TV. TV is my vice.
Yeah.
When I'm tired, I've done enough entrepreneurial shit for the day. I'm just worn the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like I want to kind of just get completely out of my head, because I don't know how to stop myself.
Yeah.
So it's like I turn the TV on and I just call it vegetative mode. I veg out and I just zone in. It's like I go into whatever movie that is.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what the video games do. They take you into that alternate reality.
But you're doing it to kick back after a long day of work. He's saying it's stopping him from doing it. So
but that's how it starts too, though. You know what I mean? That's how it starts, and then it sucks you in, because you start hitting that. Every time you play, you feel like, oh man, that vegetative state was good. I forgot about all my problems.
Yeah.
And so you're getting that dopamine dump each time. But then the problem is too, like what they're going to experience is they're going to play and they want more and more and more, because each time you dump the dopamine, it hits you harder, but then you start not having enough.
I mean, it doesn't hit you less hard.
You're not getting the same effect, just like any other drug. Once you start taking it, your body's going to get used to that.
Yeah.
So then you're not even satisfied with that. So you play more and more and more to get the same feeling until you just can't go anymore. So it's again like the testosterone, that negative feedback loop, bro. You're gonna have a plateau point, or a point when you crash out. So
what you said about a dump is really well put, because it's like you have a baseline level of dopamine, and then if you do something like crazy exciting, it's dumps it out. Right, you get a great feeling, but then you're below baseline after,
and you have to have that time to build it up.
You need the time, but because you feel but when the baseline gets lower, now you crave it. It's like that with food too, right? Especially sugary foods. Or listen, people hate when I talk about keto, so I'm not gonna say keto, but carbohydrates are proven, especially simple carbohydrates, are proven to spike dopamine, right? And that's why they're addictive. Right?
Exactly. Why do you think these people are pumping out all the sugar and shit that they want you to eat?
It's addictive. So you get this spike, right? And then you're below baseline and you crave it more, right? That's why I always tell people abstinence is easier than moderation. Like if you're trying to quit something, if you try to do it sometimes, it's like you tease yourself a little bit, and then, but if you just quit, when I just quit,
my philosophy is, for the video games, just throw that shit in the garbage, bro, or give it away to somebody.
I honestly, if you said it's ruining your life, I think you need to quit. You can't. Yeah. It's something
you can't ease off that. There's no way to do it, because you're going to come right back to it. That's what I would do. It's like if I get into that bad spot, it's like, okay, I'll go watch 5 minutes of TV, get my mind out, and then I'll go back to work, bro. 3 hours later, I'm still sitting there, bro. And then the next day, same thing the next night, because now I'm craving. I'm like, okay, I feel good. So it's like anything else. You got to just shut it down.
You got to shut it down. So the only time I play video games, I did something because I know that how dangerous that could be. Honestly, they're legitimately an army of nerds making video games.
We're disciplined men as shit, and if you give me a video console, I get on that shit. I'm going all night. I'm going ham. I'm not going to get up. I'm going to play games all night and have fun, bro.
So only console I have is the Switch, right? And my rule is I can only do it. I only do it when I do cardio.
Right.
That way, at least I'm getting
get your mind off of it, go quicker.
More so like it's like slow cardio on the bike,
because it's boring. It's like, God, I've been here 5 minutes. That's it. I got 15, 20 more minutes. This sucks. Yeah.
But if I'm playing Smash, if I'm playing Super Smash,
boy, you look up, you're like, damn, 30 minutes gone by.
Word.
But see, that's again, that's not even necessarily the dopamine part, but that's what happens in video games.
Yeah.
You look up, you're like, shit, it's been 5 hours, and she's losing her quality of life.
But if I had a PlayStation in the crib.
Oh,
fuck that,
bro! We wouldn't even be doing this podcast. We'd be in there playing some damb World of Warcraft or
whatever, man. All that shit, Call of Duty, all that.
Yeah, all the games.
So if I play Call of Duty, I only play
Grand Theft Auto because we're in Miami.
I only have it on this, and again, I got to be doing cardio, and that's the key. So I have an exercise bike right there. I got one in the other balcony. I got one in all. And if I grab the console, I got to do cardio. At least that way it makes it a positive. It like at least I'm doing something positive.
But like you said, someone who can't control it and they're already out of control, get rid of it, and then you can come back to it later when you've change the rest of your lifestyle, and everything is basically in alignment. In my mind, it's like your mind, body, soul, spiritual, all your stuff is just honed in. Then you can come back to it and you control it.
You got to recalibrate his brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you got to retrain your brain. That takes usually it's 90 days to create a new habit and lock it in.
Yeah, they say 21 days, but new research is saying
it's 90 days. It's 90.
At least 90. Yeah.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's 3 months. For people that are really addicted, 6 months. Man,
yeah,
really.
you got to fucking, you got to like, even if you don't throw it away, put it in your grandma's house in another state, military.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get that. You got to get that shit away from you, man. Abstinence is easier than moderation, because if it's there, if you in the crib, if you're addicted to something and it's in the crib with you all day, you know you're using discipline all day.
But that's all you're thinking about now, exactly. And you're still not getting anything done, because I'm just going to be thinking about, okay, I want to get that video game out of that room that I locked it in. How do I get it?
And even if you are doing it, you're using discipline, right? So discipline is a finite resource. You only have so much of it each day. And if you're wasting all your discipline, restraining yourself from playing these video games, you still won't get shit done. You know what I'm saying? Because you're wasting your discipline, right? So it's like, yo, man, just get rid of it so you don't need discipline. You only need discipline once to get rid of it. And then you start doing other shit, and then after you've retrained your brain, then you can get back to it.
Yeah, because like you said, they already had the great lifestyle before. So if you get rid of the game, then you go right back to that, because your mind's still going to naturally, okay, no more video game. All right, I'm bored now. What do I do to get the dopamine dump? Now you get the proper dopamine release, and you go back to doing the stuff that truly, gives you the satisfaction you're actually looking for, which is, whatever it might be.
There will be a withdrawal phase.
Yeah,
there will be a withdrawal phase. Just like a fucking heroin addict. There's going to be some time where you're going to go through withdrawal.
And that's where that gray area comes in. It's not a healthy thing either, but you throw yourself back into whatever you were good at. For me, it's like, well, shit, if I'm addicted to that, I'm going to throw myself into something that's at least beneficial. Hey, okay, I can go do 6 deals and make this much money this month. Okay, that's all I'm going to focus on until at least get my mind off the others, 100%. The other stuff. And then it balances back out.
Yeah. And then once you've recalibrated your brain to change your life, if you want to introduce some video games, you might not want to though.
Nah, right? Most people, I feel like once they kick it, dude, same like me. I was when that vaping shit got popular, dude, I never smoked cigarettes in my life, none of that realistically, and like never did that stuff. Dude, that stuff got me hooked. I did it for like 4 or 5 years. You know how hard that was to get rid of? It was insane. I was like, why am I doing this shit? It makes me sick even when I do it, but I was my dopamine, I was stuck to it. You know what I mean? I had to I threw them all out completely.
Abstinence
and like I said, I recalibrated. The only time I did was like, hey, if I go out and I'm out for a, kind of a business meeting or out socially and everybody's drinking, whatever, if there's one around, I might hit it once or twice. Because I was able to do it in moderation at that point. But I know in my mind, it was to tell me, hey, I hit it. And then I'm like, ooh, now I know I don't do this anymore. And then I never wanted it again. Yeah. But that was how I retrained myself.
And if you abstain for something for long enough, you lose the desire.
Exactly.
Right. Like I said, I haven't drank alcohol in like 10 years.
That's a great point.
And I don't care. No desire.
Dude, I haven't been drinking for about a year now. And you give me alcohol, I'm like, dude, I don't want that shit.
I'm out. I'm at places where people are drinking, and it's like
you can put it in my face. I'm just like,
no temptation,
no drugs. I'm like, I'm good, guys. Like I'm focused on making money, focused on my relationships, my friendships.
Yeah, I don't even want it. It doesn't even take discipline anymore.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a hard no. Like,
yeah, I'm like that with sweets and shit now, because it's
an easy decision.
It's been 10 years, so it's like not a decision.
Yeah, because it's
like I don't even want it, right? Anymore, because after enough abstinence, you lose the desire.
Oh, and a good point here with that kind of stuff is what people don't realize. People don't even understand why they're craving these things like food and sugar. Again, we go back to the LL37, KPV, the peptides. They kill yeast. They balance your gut. So most people understand when you have yeast grows off of sugar, just like cancer grows. So you're craving sugars and food and shit you shouldn't crave because you have gut damage.
So I probably ain't got no yeast.
You have none, bro, because you don't eat carbs.
Yeah.
When you stick your tongue out, it's whatever color your tongue is. Most people, you go around and do a survey, have 100 people stick their tongues out. I bet you 95 of them have some white or some green. You know what I mean? So when you have yeast, you're going to crave sugars and sugary stuff because it creates an imbalance, and that's how it grows.
See, I didn't even know that.
That's where, we help people at the office all the time with that, because that's one of their biggest issues with, man, I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm just craving sugar. I'm not even hungry. I know I'm not hungry. And I'm like, you got yeast, bro. Let me see your tongue. Like, what? I'm like, oh, it's white as shit. Okay, yeah, let's fix that. Let's give you the gut protocol. Let's give you some peptides. Boom. 3 months later, they're like, bro, I've lost 30 pounds, not even doing like a weight loss program with us, just cutting out the bullshit and fixing their gut damage, and their life has changed. People realize when your gut has more nerves in it than the rest of the entire body put together.
Really?
Like your whole nervous system is in your gut. So it's signaling everything, even as much as your brain.
Wow.
So like you said, when you heal the gut and that gut's on point, you're sharper, as you know, no carbs, mental clarity is better, focus is better. Like you said, intermittent fasting is realistically just not doing carbohydrates. They show that lengthens your telomeres. It prolongs your life, makes you more focused. You know, they did the MRIs on the brain studies, like I think one you put up the other day, showing your brain on drugs, your brain on everything else. You know, so that just goes to show how much more effective it is and how bad the sugars are for you, and everything in America. I
did a whole episode about sugar, man. Like
exactly.
I am not a fan. Even in moderation, I'm not a fan.
What people don't realize is everything turns into sugar. Even if you eat white rice. Have people look up the glycemic index. Just go look up glycemic index and look at all the foods. Rice, let's say it's like 80 out of 100. I mean, that shit's still turning into sugar in your body. Like you said, it's still carbohydrate. So, you know, to an extent, it's a grain. It's not the healthiest thing.
Listen, man, you preaching to the choir, man.
Yeah.
You don't gotta sell me on not eating white rice.
But I mean, I eat that's all I eat for my carb is sweet potatoes, and I do jasmine rice though.
Oh yeah.
But again, you know, I don't really have gut issues other than my autoimmune, but I keep my stuff in control though, because I take my support supplements to make sure I don't get overgrowth. I take my probiotic with my yeast killer in it, and boom, I'm good to go.
So it's a little different.
Because I'm a bodybuilder, I got to have the carbs, bro.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
But at least the sweet potatoes and the rice, in my opinion, you know, like gluten-free oatmeal, those are the healthiest source of.
If I wanted to be a pro bodybuilder, I probably wouldn't be keto.
Exactly. You'd have to bulk up. You got different goals.
Different goals. What? Let's get another super chat in.
He said peptide guy.
We have JT Coin Rings. He says, hello, Brandon and chat. And then
what up, Coin Rings?
Peptide guy. Which autoimmune disease do you have? Also try carnivore diet, lion diet specifically. Heard it helps autoimmune issues.
It definitely. So this is a guy.
100%.
This is a guy who lives in my building, and he's a bodybuilder. He's like he's big like you. He's huge, but he's like taller than both of us, right? He's like, this motherfucker might be like 6'5" or some shit. He looked like the motherfucker who
like Thor or something.
Yeah. Stallone was fighting in Rocky fucking 4. He looked like that with Drago, you know, and he looks actually just like him. And I was just talking to him. And he's keto, but only because he has autoimmune disease.
Right.
You know
and it's great for it. Like you said, I mean, you know, it's like that phrase, you know, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To an extent, for my lifestyle, and you know, I know obviously, you know, I could probably even be healthier, never have any gut issues, not have to take peptides like that, not have to do the supplements. But I like being big. I love carbs. I want to have a certain look. So it's like, you know, I just, you know, I put it in its place and maintain it. And, you know, I don't really have any issues with it, and it's controllable. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, I'm
not one of those guys who tries to push keto on people. I was just talking like,
like I said, that guy saying I've definitely done it. I mean, for me, I mean, I did, you know, I've tried keto. I've done the blood diet, you know, I've done them all. I mean, I went full vegan. I mean, I've tried it all. I mean, exactly. So like for me, I've found like a balance of what works. You know what I mean?
And I think that's beautiful, man, when you can try stuff and see what works the best for you. Right.
Because everyone's different, bro.
Everyone's different.
Everyone's different.
You know, like, and that's the key, whether it's keto, whether it's just you know, eat anything, hit your macros, whatever. If you find something that works for you, then stick to that and don't let nobody tell you not to do it, man.
Because like I said, I've had IBS since I was a kid. When I get stressed, I get really bad cramps in the gut, indigestion, obviously flatulence, you know, but I got ulcerative colitis, things like that. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's not a fun thing, but like you said, it's 100%, you know, maintained and in control as long as I stick to my stuff. Now, like I said, I go out and I grab McDonald's, eat a bunch of ice cream and French fries. Shit like that. Of course, I'm gonna have a really bad flare up. I'm gonna hate myself for 2-3 days. Yeah, but I just stick to my clean foods. You know what I mean? And I'm usually pretty good. So
let me ask you a question: How much is that Smack?
The Samax?
Samax.
What about it?
How much? That was the one that helps you. Wait, what did you say? It's like limitless.
Oh yeah. So the Samax, kind of like the one that
how much is it? I think I want to get. I think that's the one that's most appealing.
I don't think we have that one actually on the website. I want to say, let's see. I actually got a sheet right here that had all the peptides just listed out. I want to say it's around like $250, $290 somewhere
I'm
in
gonna
there.
talk to you.
But it's incredible.
Yeah, I'm with the shits.
So.
Yo, listen, where can people find out more information about you, brother?
So my handle's at Dr. Russ, dr.rruss. Obviously, you click my link tree. I've got my website for my peptides, which is vitalpeps.com.
Yeah.
If you want to go to one of my clinics, let's say you wanted blood work, we have concierge phlebotomists that really come directly to you at your business or your home. That's vitalforceal.com.
Yeah.
We're actually in the process now. I've got contracts waiting, attorney stuff. We're trying to get another clinic open down here in Florida. So we do telemedicine out of Florida, but we don't have an actual location. So I'm doing the peptide company, obviously more wholesale online. And then, more telemedicine down here. That's why I moved down. But yeah. We're basically spreading out this year. We're scaling now.
Sounds good, brother. Listen, man, this has been another episode. Y'all make sure y'all tap into the homie. If nothing else, just watch his Instagram. Is dope, man. He's fucking running around with Lambo.
Post the fun lifestyle content.
Oh man,
yeah.
his shit is lit. Listen, we do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Thursday, we got the homie Young Goldie coming back. One of the fan favorites. You know what I'm saying? He's been going viral lately, so he's coming back to the pod. Anyway, and all this week, until further notice, even when I'm not on the Victory Talk, I'm going to be going live at 7 with just Q&A. Right? It's an idea I stole from the big homie, from the homie FitX, so I'll just be on and answer y'all questions. Y'all can jump on stream with me and I'll answer your questions. And so every night I'm not doing Victory Talk. I'm gonna be doing that Monday through Friday. So basically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm gonna get on. Y'all can talk directly to me, jump on camera, answer your questions about life and shit. All right, let's get it. Holla at y'all.